what's going on, everybody? What is up? Tis I, tis me, tis we, the Vangimoncraft, back once more to the YouTubing stage. Now, I won't go into a huge thing about being back, because I already did a video with Z that uh, I forgot to send my footage in for a week. But no matter, for I have come once more to save Yu-Gi-Oh! Are you financially unable to keep up in the modern metagame? Is Sword Soul sucking your funds? Is Drytron destroying your dollar? Is Hero, Virtual World, Tri-Brigade taking your hard-earned paycheck? Well, have no fear, for I have fixed the formats. I give to you the answer to all your prayers. The Yu-Gi-Oh! Budget League. So the basics of the league are simple. Every participant gets $15 to construct a TCG legal deck using the market price of cards on TCG Player that also adheres to the league ban list. Currently that ban list is one limit, being Darkhold due to its low cost of around 25 to 35 cents a copy at the time of this recording, and its incredible utility, and one ban being Time Thief Redoer for its incredible versatility, and with how difficult it is to out this motherfucker. We're in a format where kaijus are damn near unplayable. The only one that you can normally forward is like Jizakiru, and no one wants to out a 3300 monster anyway, so we banned him. The $15 budget is all you get for the whole deck. Main, extra, and side. And as all the participants, my partner Z, and myself can attest, making a semi-playable extra deck with normally less than $5 sucks absolute ass. Over the course of 10 weeks, 1 week for deck building and 1 week for dueling, players will be given 2 opponents who they must duel independently in best of 3 matches. Wins get you points on the leaderboard, and whoever has the most points wins the league. Every round, duelists will be given a $5 upgrade budget to change and edit the decks they are given that round. Yes! I said decks. Each round outside of the first and last round, where duelists will be given their original deck, duelists will be given each other's decks and will have to adapt to new playstyles, matchups, and opponents. We just started our first competitive season recently, are currently in round 1, and I am in the middle of the pack. While all the duels have not yet been played, I got mine done pretty fast. I went up against Z and our good friend Myanmar, and, well, I'll go into more detail with the deck list, which we will be going into right now. So we have 9 players this season, being myself, Z, Myanmar, my cousin D-Walk Run, who should be hung for his atrocities, Izukito, who I think I pronounced right, Lord of the Fishes, who along with D-Walk tied for first when we unfortunately had to cut the last casual season short, SK Dale, Lost G, and Cat Ray. And out of those 9 players, we have 8 interesting decks and what D-Walk is playing. And what you're looking at here is my slice of the pie. I give you Dino Mist, made with exactly $15. And I gotta say, I think it's strong. Now, I know it looks a little, Jinzo and 3 Psychic Shockwave in the main, but my deck has a crippling fear of back row, and the last season there was plethora of trap base removal. Same idea with Spell Canceller, with the added benefit that is actually able to be pen summoned with Dino Mist Scales, being a level 5. ED is absolutely solid. I think the deck can OTK and combo off at the drop of a hat, but it can also break on one scale or the other, and I'm not gonna lie, I need more monster removal in this, but that's why we have the upgrades. Overall, deck seems really strong for week 1, but I don't know how well it will do in the long run, considering the other decks are just as strong. Next up... yeah. Gold Series Eldorado made Mystic Mine legal in this format. Before this, it was $5 a copy. Now it's about $2.70, $2.50. And being an agent of chaos, I helped D-Walk brew this list. And quite honestly, this list is crazy strong. Even with only 2 mine, the deck is pretty damn resilient. The traps slow the game down. Hank can do battle damage whenever necessary. Amano Iwado makes sure mine sticks. Greed, Card Car, Left Arm, Duality, they all help find mine or the affiliate links or the affiliate cards that we need to win. Mushroom Man 2 is really, really funny. We both thought that after reading this card and seeing that it's 5 cents that it worked like DD Guide, but it doesn't when it's the only monster on field because mine negates its effects. Either way, the only possible weakness this deck could possibly have in this form is any kind of back row removal heavy format. Which this is. The deck already played its 2 duels for round 1 and lost both. To be fair, the decks were a deck that made a lot of spell trap removal and negation that was searchable, and the other was a deck that played 9, 10 pieces of back row removal in the side. Once the next round starts, I expect this deck to be able to hold its own a lot more, and quite honestly, there's already a conversation about hitting mine next season because, God, this shit should not be legal in this format. Next up, we have Izukito's Pacifists. This deck is absolutely insane. It's got removal, it's got negation, it's got floodgates, it's got barrier statue. The deck is so fucking strong. It already won one of its matches. Spiritual Water Aoi is a sick tech that could realistically come up. Obviously, any self-respecting Duel Links player can attest to the strength of C Stealth Attack. The side deck seems kinda sus. I understand the theory behind Link Slayer and why it's in here, but I don't know how good it is, since in this deck I feel like you want to see every card in it. Maybe discarding extra back row, like you don't need to Mirror Force set, probably. But nonetheless, the deck is crazy strong, and Pacifist is a crazy fucking card that I absolutely love seeing represented. I'm so glad that this is the only one of this list. Next up, we have Lord of the Fishes, Crusadia. I was surprised that he was able to fit as much in as he did. Obviously, the Crusadia package is very strong and consistent and can make Equimax hit like a small island. This man, I swear to God, is obsessed with Herald of the Abyss. And as someone who lost to it last season while playing a Battle in Boxers deck, thanks, D-Walk, I can see why. Card's good, it outs any Towers-related monster. It's really, really strong. I'm so shocked of how strong it is. So far, he has yet to play any of his games, but honestly, I think this deck is going to be insane. He actually was one of the, he has the lowest cost deck so far. I believe he had around 67 cents left over, but there is actually an incentive for having the cheapest deck overall, and decks don't get revealed until the end, or until the end of the period to turn them in. So I think he's in the lead. I think he actually got the point hands down. Red Reboot's cool. Jizukiru's insane. I don't know how the fuck he fit Parallel Exceed into this list. But with upgrades coming around soon, I think this deck could be very, very strong contender and can go really, really far. Next up, we have SK Dale's Adamancipator, a personal favorite of mine. I've loved this deck since it was announced. I was bad in Play Pure for a while because I was too lazy to learn the Onomat lines, and now Block Dragon is banned, so here we are. I don't know what to say about the deck that hasn't already been said when it was the meta threat. The deck is consistent as fuck. The synchros are insane. Gallic Granite is an amazing card. Ties of the Brethren is actually insane in this list, because if you just do your regular plays and somehow have your end board and end on a Kawake Meru, you just windmill slam this fucker down, and then you have your end board, a monster negate, a spell negate, and a summon negate. All you need is a rock in hand. It's absolutely fucking insane. The fact that the Majestus Dragon, Bryonic, and Tornado Dragon are accidental attribute synergy, I don't know if that's on purpose or not, but it's really, really funny. And Left Offering is a penny, so that's why it's in there. This deck is absolutely crazy, and 2020 Tins, damn you for letting this shit be legal in my fucking format. And here it is, fellas. The deck that kicked my ass. Myanmar's Megalith list. Sorry that it's so small. Mayan decided to take a full screen screenshot when he sent this to me. But yeah, I've never had to play against this deck with Block Dragon legal. I only played against it a handful of times. But my god, every time I see it, I just wonder why the fuck these things are not once per turn. If you get a single statue on board, you essentially win the game. You just cycle through the whole deck, Fool is cracked as hell, Baethor pops anywhere from 1 to 100 cards, the whole deck is just starters and pop-offs. I can't even blame a bad hand against this deck because my hand game 2 was Scale, Howling, Charge, Speedroy, the Speedroy Cyber Dragon, which let me go into a Queefor Genius line. Deck's fucking insane, and I still got... The hand was insane, and I still got creamed. So far, I can't see anything to fault with this list except that Dicefoon might be a little cope. Like, he was just hurting for spell trap removal, but I think Dicefoon might be a little copium. Or hopium. Either way, think the deck's fucking insane. Honestly, it's maybe, just from what I've seen so far, it's one of the top 2 decks in the whole fucking in this whole fucking season. That being said, some people have still yet to play, but just from what I've seen of the deck lists, this deck is probably going to go far, and just... God, this deck. How did he fit the incantations in this shit? Next, we have the other deck that is a contender for top 2. We have Lost G's Evil Eye. This deck is the one that thrashed Mystic Mine into the dirt. Whole deck is insane. If Cerazel is around to stick on the board, the game is pretty much over. The deck has Searchers, it has Removal, it has Negates. The only loss it's had so far in round 1 was against the Pacifist list seen earlier, and while I did not catch that game, it does kind of give me an idea of the deck's biggest weakness. Negating Cerazel or stopping the monsters from being on the board does pretty much shut down most of the deck. Granted, that's all an assumption, since, again, I didn't see the duel. Deck is crazy strong. Everyone's just fucking shoving duality. Unending Nightmare is insane in the sideboard. This deck's insane. This deck is absolutely insane. I'm very much afraid to ever play against this deck. I 100% think that this is maybe top 2 decks. Actually, I'm certain this one is. Megalith. And here we have Cat Rays. Well, wait a minute. Didn't I already... hold on. Let me go back up and check. And, yeah, hold on. Wait, what? Oh, yeah. These two made the same fucking deck. Obviously, there's very stark differences. But somehow, without ever communicating to each other, Ray and Izukito both made Pacifists, and they both cost the same amount of money. The TCG player thing at the top is inaccurate, but either way, everything that I said about the last deck can just be shoved into here with some notable exceptions. Honestly, I couldn't tell you which of the 2 decks is stronger. Well, Ray plays a lot less search targets for pacifists and less monsters. She does play Tikbu, one of the strongest floodgates in the game. She shoved this fucker in. And also, do you see that card between Mystical Space Typhoon and Sea Stealth Attack? That card is called Redeemable Jar. A weird as hell card that lets you recycle traps by banishing traps with a different name. In a deck with 11 different traps. This thing is probably always live. Just, now, damn near every other trap, damn near every other deck so far has back removal which hurts this deck a good bit, like it does the rest, but the jar card literally just lets you recycle the trap so much that it might not even matter. Plus, Fossil Dig lets you search for the monster, which gives you the search. It's just, no games to speak of yet, but we're going to see where this goes, and honestly, I think this one's going to go far. The pacifist lists are just fucking insane. And finally, we have my partner in crime's deck. Z made Tindangle. And as someone who's frequently tested this deck with him, it's pretty fucking strong. Now, it does have a couple issues. It can produce some hands where you open no monsters, or hands where you open 5. But if this deck starts popping off, it's so hard to stop it. So you just Skull Dread's hard to out. Acute Cerberus is surprisingly hard to out. Borreload, Topologic, just insane cards. Fitting in Raigeki, Darkhole, and 13 back row hate cards, and you want to include Nightmare Unicorn is so fucking funny. So, side note, little story about this. Before I was sold on Dynamis, I was going to play Budget True Draco. I accidentally cheated because I didn't realize Return was so fucking expensive, but I was playing Budget True Draco. Z, because of his hatred of True Draco, and then his subsequent hatred of Dynamist, and then the one test he did against D-Walk's Mystic Mine, made him throw in so much back row removal, it's so fucking funny. However, he did win against the Mystic Mine deck because game 1, he just couldn't out it. He only has 2 pieces of back row removal in the main. But then games 2 and 3, he opened Unending Nightmare twice. It's pretty much how the deck is. It's pretty much how D-Walk's deck always loses, is Unending Nightmare. Deck is still insane though. Oh yeah, and against me, he did really good. But as he can attest, your flip effects don't matter for shit if I attack you directly with a big Robo Dino. Deck is still insane. Honestly, the fucking Tindangle trap is cracked as hell. It just lets you summon 3. It's basically Soul Charge. Once it gets upgrades, I'm sure it'll be even better. And guys, those are the lists. So that's the decks for this season, guys. I plan on, and a quick overview of the format. I plan on recording more Budget League content later down the line, probably with Z. We do have a plan for the end of this format, this particular season, which you guys can look out for. If you guys are interested in more of this, just let us know down in the comments. If you're new here, please like and subscribe. And yeah, that's the weird format that I've made. And I will see you guys next time. Have a nice day, and goodbye.